Hello again, everyone. This is Megan Sanders. I'm with our Mentor Norman program that has partnered with various organizations in the Norman community to just learn about mentoring opportunities that they have with their programs, as well as how people can get involved. And so today we're with Miss Darcy Pippins, and we're going to learn about her program. She's going to share some awesome information. She's a Spanish teacher at Norman High, but I'll kick it over to you just to introduce yourself a little further and your program.
My name is Darcy Pippins, and I'm a Spanish teacher at Norman High School. This is my 23rd year. I teach Spanish 3, 4, and AP Spanish. And the mentor program actually started because I've always really been sad that we don't have Spanish in the elementary schools in our district. The program was cut when we had budget cuts back in the early 2000s. And so I used to have my kids once a year go and teach a lesson to an elementary class. And then I kind of thought, we should do this every week. And I kind of worked it out with the Spanish or the world language coordinator of the district, and we kind of got permission. And so these kids, they volunteer to go before school, which is at 8 o'clock usually when the elementary schools start, and they teach 30 minutes once a week to the same class every week. And I kind of help plan the lessons, and they just use what they learned from me and they teach their kids.
Is it every school in the Norman school, in the elementary school district, that is in this program?
Well, we started with 3 schools, Kennedy and Lincoln and, oh my goodness, Monroe. And they're all schools that feed to Norman High. And then we added Washington, and we've also gone to Madison. So it just depends on the year. We every year we get permission from the principals to see if they don't have anything going on at 8 a.m. to 8:30, the teachers, and if they're willing to have us come and teach, then we try to accomplish.
Okay, now who exactly are your mentors again? Are they particular level?
Well, I start with the AP, the advanced placement kids first, and we usually have about 40 to 45 kids that do this.
Oh, that's awesome.
It goes AP and then the Spanish 4 kids, and then if I have more interest from the elementary schools, I will ask some of my Spanish 3 kids to go. They just have to be able to drive because it's kind of before their day, and so they have to get up early on a Friday, or usually it's Wednesdays or Fridays that we teach, and they have to drive to their school, and they have to plan their lessons and be prepared. So it's kind of fun. And I have one mentor that is actually now teaching Spanish at Longfellow.
Oh, wow. That's
so
really cool.
He started with me in 2014, I think. And he taught at Monroe with Miss Lynette Wilson. And then after he graduated, he continued going there to teach because he loved it so much. And now he's teaching Spanish. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that is a great segue just kind of into some of the messaging we want to share with people as we try to fill mentor needs in different organizations. Can you speak to some of what you've seen comes out of these mentoring relationships for the kids, but also for the mentors, and what just benefits you see with those relationships and the kids and within the community?
Well, I feel like for the mentors, my students, they're gaining perspective because they're teaching now. And so when they come back to my class, they have a little bit of sympathy for what I'm doing, and they have stories they'll share with me like, oh my goodness, Miss Pippins, my kids were so wild today. And I'm like, welcome to our world. But they absolutely, they learn their names, they get to know these kids, and then at the end the kids write them like thank you notes and tell them what they love the best about their lessons and all that. So I have a lot of those thank you notes still that they brought to me to read, and so I know the impact is obviously advocacy for world language education, for these kids that aren't actually getting any world language education in the elementary schools, but then also just advocating for our profession as teachers. And hopefully these kids that are teaching might consider being teachers.
That's really cool. And did you start this program?
I did. And it actually
Wow.
won an award in 2016, the American Council on Language Teaching, ACTFL, which is our national organization. They awarded this program the Global Engagement Award. So it's
Oh,
an
that's
award-winning
awesome.
program. Yeah.
That's really cool. So what's the thought process on how this program continues? Do you already know kind of what that looks like down the road, or?
Well, this year was kind of a struggle because we couldn't be in the schools. So I had one of my senior girls that taught last year. They were making videos for the kids, for the teachers, because it's part of the national standard that fourth and fifth grade kids have to have a language or at least have some exposure.
Okay.
And I think in the past, these teachers were just using DVD programs or like YouTube videos. So this kind of, fulfills that. Also, the fact that, it's better to have a live teacher. So I see that this hopefully will continue, and I would love to have more schools involved and, make it, impacting more kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot here, but can you think of any stories or scenarios you've seen over the last couple of years that kind of went beyond just the Spanish teaching, but where there were any opportunities with young children that the mentors had an opportunity to kind of go beyond just the Spanish teaching, but more of like a resource, just a deeper impact than just the language teaching?
What just stands out in my head would be, obviously they have diverse kids in their class, and I think it really does bring out the Spanish speaker kid, the elementary Spanish speaking kids, out of their shell, because they're so quiet and used to hearing English, 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 that when my kids come teach, those Spanish speaker kids are like, oh my gosh, I'm an expert at this. And so they really shine, and it kind of brings out their abilities. It makes their peers realize that this kid is bilingual. He can teach another, or, he can speak another language. So that is an impact that I've seen. Also, my students, also volunteer to be mentors for the EL kids. So they'll go and like help them with homework using their Spanish, and also read to them. So that's another thing that's kind of come from this.
That's really, really cool. Because I mean, that's, a lot of what we're trying to accomplish when we are mentoring children, is giving them a voice and giving them an opportunity to grow and be heard and be seen. And so that's a really cool aspect of what you guys are doing for those kids who, have this gift or a resource that they can share with other people. And now they're getting an opportunity with their peers. That's really, really neat.
I'm excited to spread the word. I really love this program. I don't think there's any other program like this really, I've never heard of. I travel a lot and do a lot of conferences and things, and I do present on this as well.
Yeah.
And I think this is a one-of-a-kind program. So that's
well,
cool.
what I love about getting it kind of into the mix of the mentoring in Norman is, one of my passions, and Rod and I's passion, is just mentoring and how can we fill this need, because there's just so many kids out there. But I have seen that one of the hesitations is people just don't feel like they have something to offer, or they're like, well, what can I do to relate with someone who's gone through something else, or I wouldn't be a good mentor, or they just don't have this confidence. And I love this program because you're starting with something they're already doing. You know what I mean? And you're exposing these high school kids to a mentor opportunity that they may have never even thought of. And down the road, as other opportunities come up, maybe through other organizations like Boys and Girls Club or Bridges or anything that may present that to them, to have that experience, and maybe will, just very easily put them in that situation if the opportunity presents itself. So I just love the nature of the program, because you're getting over a big hump that I feel is there in just getting mentors. It's like, you already do this. You already speak the language. You just need to, and you're already providing this great avenue to get them involved.
Hi, my name is Reece Gibbins, and I'm going to talk about the impact that the Spanish program had on me. So I got to do this with my friends. I taught at Lincoln for a few years, which is where I went to elementary school, which was really fun. And then I taught with some friends at Monroe too, and they went there, so they really enjoyed that. But what we got to do is we kind of got to be in control of a class for a short period of time. The kids really liked that because their teacher wasn't teaching. She got to get stuff done, and they liked connecting with someone closer in their age, which I thought was fun too. My favorite part of this was playing games with them in Spanish, of course. They really liked it. You can see them kind of get frustrated at times, but at the end they loved it, and they loved the competitiveness too, which I also liked, which was fun. Um, they would always ask us when we were coming back too after the game was over, which was also really funny. I think that this had a pretty big impact on my high school career because I got to start teaching Spanish to kids at a young age, which I didn't get really taught at a young age, which I wish I did. And I just think it was really cool for them to see and experience the things that they wanted to saw that early.
Hi, I was given the opportunity to teach Spanish to kids at Monroe through our Spanish class at the high school. And I just thought it was a great program that taught us how to pass down knowledge that was given to us and, kind of teach a lot of kids teach kids about something that they've probably never even experienced before in another language. And it was pretty cool to see them learn an entire new language at such a young age. So I thought it was cool. It had a great impact on me, and I think it is a really good program, and it helps teach not only the students, but it helps teach the older kids how to kind of interact with younger kids and help them learn and teach us how to help them learn.
The goal is always, world language advocacy, advocating for world language education and cultural, competence with anybody we can get our hands on. Also, I think a new goal that's kind of popped up just from having this program is for the students to gain some perspective as teachers and maybe be a little bit more sympathetic to their own teachers. But definitely I think the goal is to grow our program and for these kids to see Norman High Tigers coming to their school to teach them and say, man, I'm going to be a Tiger someday and I'm going to be like this kid. And it will obviously motivate these young kids to stay in school and study a language and and finish strong.